In the local Community of Christ congregation I grew up in, I had a lot of different teachers. My church family raised me to think on my own and share my thoughts. They made me feel comfortable being who I was whenever I was at the church. As I grew up and started going to church events in Michigan, I came to realize that my church family is much larger than what I originally thought. Through my camp experiences as a teen camper and then adult staff, I started to learn what I am most passionate about in Community of Christ, making everyone feel welcomed, loved, and cared for. Currently, I am co-leading an online youth group called Sanctuary for the Michigan Mission Center. Though often small in numbers, we have created a safe space where we can be flexible for our youth. We tried our best to focus in on making the space as relevant to our youth's lives as we can be. This means sometimes we scrap our original ideas for the night to answer what our youth are asking of us. A typical Thursday night on Zoom for us starts with conversations as we check in with everyone as they pop into our meeting. We then play a game together and share in lots of laughs. We eventually end with a devotion where we discuss many different topics, such as the enduring principles. Our devotions allow lots of time for the youth to think and share their thoughts on a topic. Through speaking aloud or the chat feature on Zoom, our youth actively respond and develop very meaningful conversations. Our core group keeps coming back, which makes me feel like I am accomplishing our mission to be a welcoming community for youth. I never imagined that I could be leading a youth group in Michigan while sitting in my home in Amherstburg, Ontario, but here I am doing just that. It is so important to develop these younger voices in our communities so we can have a future with Community of Christ. Creating these relationships outside of our local congregation is an awesome first step in becoming more welcoming globally. The relationships I had when I was a child with my church family definitely have prepared me to create a welcoming space wherever I may be. As a 23-year-old, focusing on my own future, finishing school, and getting my first professional job, I have not fully considered the future of the church in its entirety. I have a small scope into what a global church may look like in the future, but I would like to think it will continue to be a welcoming church. Will we always sit in a sanctuary with pews facing the speaker, or will we sit in a circle in someone's home looking at everyone equally? The world is constantly changing, so will we be joining in on more online services or in-person services? COVID-19 has certainly made that a more relevant question to us than before. I don't know the answers to these questions. I do know that our future can only be as good as the relationships we build within our church community. Our personal relationships with each other and God can get us to tomorrow and the day after that. We can worship together sitting on our couch, sitting in a pew, or in an office chair. We can worship together with a cup of coffee in our hand, looking at 50 people on Zoom together. We can worship together. My hope for the future is that we can continue to adapt with the changes of the world, that we can continue to connect with one another, even when times become more difficult to do so. Wherever we may end up, it is still important that we continue to welcome everyone into our church family. I want us to continue to think beyond our local congregations and participate in worship and outside of church events to build and grow our Community of Christ family. I cannot wait to see the way we adapt, and I look forward to exploring new ways of worshiping in a more diverse world.